guys, it's Chippy French Fry, and I'm going to talk about my U side of the family, what my name means, their history, my family's history. I'll try my best. I did this already, and my microphone didn't work. That is so frustrating. So I'm going to read what I typed in. It's been a while, but I had sound on my phone, and I promised I wouldn't use it, so I had to type it up, and I'm going to read it to you guys. So I asked my aunt, my uncle, and my dad. Unfortunately, I don't have my uncle's recording because something got messed up, so I'm going to do it again. First question: what do you know about your last name? Where does it come from, and what does it mean? My Aunt May said our name doesn't mean anything. But the name came from her father, which was passed down from his father. And my dad said it came from the old Chinese, and our last name means me or myself. Rush hour reference. Oh my god, so crazy. Did your last name change when you first came to America, or was it changed before, or why, whatever? So my aunt, her name changed because she got married. So her name is Hui. So there you go. My dad says never changed. But I wanted to know, I don't know if this is when the family moved over, because my great-grandparents were buried, but I think they moved them to America because they're now at a cemetery over here. But their last name is written as Yi, but supposedly it is still Yu. It's an accent thing, I guess. When you pronounce it, it sounded like Yi, so they put it like that. Are there any traditional first names, middle names, or nicknames in the family? My aunt doesn't think so, and my dad says not really, but I think Chi and Oi were used. They're not traditional, it's just what my grandfather wanted the names to be. Like my dad's name is Shun Chi, and then we got Yao Chi, which is a different kind of Chi spelling. There's Man Oi and Oi Chi. So there we go. What important national, religious, or family holiday celebrations are part of the family? My aunt says Chinese New Year, dinner parties, lunar festival. She didn't know the name, but it's in May with tamales wrapped in bamboo leaves. And there's a name, I searched it up, and forgive me if I pronounce it wrong. Zongzi. I don't know. But those are some of the traditions. And my dad says Chinese New Year Moon Pie Day, which is the harvest festival, lunar festival. And he said we were born Catholic, but we're not really devoted Catholics, if that makes sense. How does your family celebrate the traditions, meals, songs, activities, etc., associated with the holidays that are important to the family? My aunt says family dinners are mostly into play, good food that we wouldn't normally eat daily. Each part of the meal has a good meaning, like shrimp. In Cantonese is pronounced ha, because it sounds like happy laughter. Chicken represents everything is good, life's good. Since it's expensive in China, they use it for special celebrations. Like in the U.S., we're able to afford and eat chicken every day if we could. But in China, we would eat these chicken during New Year's or birthday celebrations. And what my dad says, dinner parties are to show off the baby after a month to the relatives, after the baby's a month old, the parents show off the baby to the relatives. And the type of food that they share is ginger, pig feet with vinegar, and a red egg. And there's of course multiple meals, same as Chinese weddings, but we didn't talk about it. And then my dad said mooncake for Harvest Lunar Festival. makes sense. And has the family created an entire new holiday? What kind and how is it celebrated? Uh, because my dad's family was poor, they didn't have a lot of money. They didn't get to have big celebrations. And since we're here in the U.S., we have bigger parties. We got to dinner and all that jazz. So looking at the family tree, I'm just so bummed it was like all mixed up. So starting with my daddy-o, I love this picture of him. I know it's kind of like hard to see him because he's shadowed, but my dad is Sun Chi Yu, and he is the second youngest. He's almost the youngest, but not quite. And there's my mom. I'm going to do my mom's family probably later. There's my youngest uncle, which we call, well, we don't really call them by the Chinese name for uncle. I just call him Uncle Ernest. That's his American name. But in Chinese, he would be my Suk Suk. So, see how his name has Chi, but it's a different Chi. And he married Yu Ping. Her, I think her middle name is May, because she was born in May. But her American name is Monica, and they had a son named Nathan, which I'm not going to press because I think it's going to mess up the thing. He's my youngest cousin in the first cousin spectrum. And there's Oi Chi, who has the same American name as my oldest uncle. I don't know what his name in Chinese for our uncle would be, but he was younger than my aunt, who's next to him, but older than my dad, which is funny because it's in order actually. There's my aunt, Mei Ying, and she actually had an arranged marriage with Uncle Steve. That's what we call him. Uncle Steven, Uncle Steve. They're the reason why my family moved to America, because they got married there. And they had two daughters, Christine Hui, which we name her Chris, and there's Debbie Hui, Deborah. So she has 3 girls and husband Michael, and Debbie has a daughter and a son with husband Dennis. And then there's my oldest uncle, Daiba, whose name is also John. The reason why they have the same name, because they were given to them before they came to America, so they would have American names. I think it's given by the church or a priest, but I don't know, all that jazz. So my uncle married Aunt Eva, that's her American name, and they have 2 sons, Raymond Yu, who married Ninai, and they have a son and a daughter. And the oldest son, Alan, is not married, but he has a girlfriend, but he has a daughter with someone else. So she has a lot of cousins. A lot of siblings, but it's her other dad, her stepdad's family. It's hard to explain, but yeah. So that's them, and let's see, family, and then that's my dad's cousins. I don't have all of them because I don't really know them very well, but yeah, I know Alice. She is married. My dad didn't know his name, but their last name is Ing. They have 2 sons, Eric and Ken. I think Eric moved to Canada, and Ken's back in Hong Kong. Then you have Danny, that's a cousin, married to Cece. There's another uncle, but I don't have him on Facebook, or I don't know his name. But their parents is Wing Chu. And I didn't get the other name, the mom's name, but Wing Chu is my mama's brother. And there's the sister, Cam Chai Chu, with husband Chung Poon, I think. I'm not sure the cousins there, like who they are and their names, so I don't have that down. I am missing family somewhere. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, so also and this is all over the place, but I'm trying my best. My yaya was the only child, so I'm not really going to show much on that. There's my mama, and there's my yaya. So mama is dad's mom, yaya is dad's dad. If it was reversed by my mom's parents, it would be my grandma would be Papa, and my grandfather would be Gogong. But it's not that way for me. My grandma's mom is Seima, who married Long Chin Chu. Unfortunately, we don't know much about this grandfather because he went off to the war and was never seen again. Don't have pictures, don't know much. Sorry. Then there's their sisters Sama and Ingma, and it's interesting because Sam say their numbers. So my great grandmother is 3. The oldest grand aunt, second great aunt, I don't know how to say it, is 3, and Ing is 5, and her last name is Horse. Don't know why, but it is. So that's my family tree on my dad's side. But when my family came to America, my dad worked with my aunt as a hairdresser because she cut hair. Then he felt like he didn't want to do that in his life, so he was starting a restaurant business with someone he knew in Florida, but that didn't work well, and he went to Illinois to work at a Chinese restaurant, and that's where he met my mama, and they got married, and then they moved to California because that's where my family went to live. So my aunt was a hairdresser for a long time until she retired and started watching her grandchildren. And my oldest uncle is a car mechanic, and he started his own business. My dad eventually started his own restaurant back in 2004. Yeah, around 2004. Tomodachi Sushi Bistro, and it's been strong, still happening. I think it's been over 10 years he had the restaurant. And my youngest uncle, I think he does something with computer software, but I'm not sure. I don't really ask, but he was really good with computers and all that. So that's my family, guys. So if you have any questions, I know I was blabbing everything what I could say about my family, but it's kind of hard to pin it. I think one more thing, the Jackie Chan animation series had that grandpa who always says one more thing. So I think it's my yaya, my dad's dad, worked in Mexico for a while, but I don't know if he had any other children or not. Who knows? So there's my parents when they got married, and I think it was 1989 on December 19th. There's my parents, there's family, there's my brother and me and my parents, there's my dad and my aunt. So there's my yaya, my mama, my aunt, my mom and dad. Dang, daddy looks so trendy. There's my Suk Daipa. I never learned the aunt's way of saying Chinese way to say aunts, but there's my Aunt May, there's my dad. This is a Chinese restaurant. There's family. There he is older. This has to be like around the 70s, I think. 1970 something. But I'm not sure what exact year. But there's my youngest uncle right there. Dad, look at my dad. Oh my god, I'm like losing it. Oh, that's my my oldest uncle's old townhouse. I think it's considered a townhouse. There's my youngest cousin Nathan. This was his ginger party. There's Nathan's uncle and just got married, and then there's his grandma, his papa. And there's Ken and Eric in the back. And Nina is there. I think wait, this is a restaurant, I think. We have this family picture in our hallway. So there's my oldest uncle in the back. The uncle that died on his side, my aunt, my mama, my youngest uncle, my yaya's parents, Bo Chan, I think something like that. Bo Chan and Sue. Yeah, his name's Sue. There's my yaya, and there's my daddy, who I used to think was my brother, because my dad and my brother could look alike, I swear. And this is my aunt and uncle's wedding with all of us, and of course I'm looking somewhere else, but there's the arrow right there. My face is being, wait, they're not showing Debbie. Ugh. Got fixed date. There's my dad again. Yeah. So I wanted to show off this picture of my family. So the oldest, there's my Uncle John, Man Oi. There's Aunt May Ying. There's the other John, Oi Chi. And there's my dad. So this is before my youngest uncle was born. And, but this is my family. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye!